And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gem and the Crypto episode 983. Today is Wednesday, July 20th, 2022, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community, Monday through Friday at 10-ish, you jabronis.
At 10-ish, you jabronis. And I got to turn off my notifications. Today's top stories. Celsius lawyers claim users gave up legal rights to their crypto. Woo! It's coming in hot. Breaking, Zipmex suspends withdrawals as CEO denies financial trouble rumors. U.S. Senator blasts SEC for non-judicial actions against crypto companies. U.S. federales are back at it again. U.S. federal agents. I was trying to stall it out. My computer just froze. So I got to love that. But we'll be talking about U.S. federal agency issuing legal advisory on NFT investments. UFC fighters or UFC fighter will receive full salary, and Bitcoin shrugs off crypto market volatility. And last but not least, the godfather of crypto risk a lifetime in jail, laying foundation for Bitcoin. But first and foremost, Bitcoin Zay, what is going on with these prices?
Oh, yeah. So taking a look at our prices today, Bitcoin coming in hot at $23,833, up 0.17% today. Ethereum at 1,596, down 0.35%. Binance Coin at 267.97 is down 0.5% today. XRP at 37 cents is down 0.6% today. Cardano at 52 cents is down 0.81%. Solana sitting pretty at 45.10 is down 0.36%. And last but not least, Dogecoin finally got off the 6 cent mark, up to 7 cents, but down 3.4 cents today. And our trending coins is Bitcoin, Cult DAO, and Neoteric, which took off for 242% recently. And some of the recently added ones, you never get tired of these. Jungle King Tiger Coin. Oh, yeah. More zeros, more zeros than binary code. And Driver and Inbox, whatever those are. So those are some of the new coins and the trending coins for the day.
There we go. We'll get some quick shout outs. What's going on, John Bullware? Shout out Zulu. Man, I've been going through a draw. We are back. All good. It's going on to Kai, Blockchain Bully, Reno Gambo. Let's see, Jake Fever. What are we planning for the 1,000th episode? We will give you all a closer heads up as it gets closer, a better heads up as it gets closer. We're still working some things out. What's up, Lance Jones, BK Crypto, Virgo L Unico, Wendy Nichols, Satoshi Slim, Daryl White, KB, Michael Jr., JG Wentworth, welcome. And of course, JG Wentworth is back. Jams and Asher had their crypto and down episode last night, so make sure you all check that out. Of course, who else is Black Rue had some great episodes last weekend. Right after the show today, we'll have Assets and Arbitrage with the Simon Family Ventures, and of course Reggie Meadows at 10 a.m. So stay tuned. Hassan, good morning to you as well. What's going on? All right, top story of the day. I mean, it is official. We missed this over the weekend, but of course, we kind of saw it incoming. If you haven't heard, Celsius has declared bankruptcy. That's right. Celsius is like, all right, we lie, y'all. We tried. We thought we had it, but we didn't. But what's even worse about them claiming this bankruptcy is that they're taking your crypto with them. We kept saying it last week. Shout out to iCoin again. You know, we've been having a long-standing campaign with them, but that was their whole goal for the past week or so. It's like, hey, get people off of these centralized exchanges for these type of reasons. But Celsius lawyers came out and said that users gave up legal rights to their crypto. That's right. Lawyers for the bankrupt crypto lender reaffirmed that user funds essentially belong to the company and not the user, with potentially one major exception. This is crazy. But to be expected, Celsius 1.7 million registered users across 100 countries gave up title to the crypto they deposited into earn and borrow accounts, according to the firm's lawyers. At the first bankruptcy hearing for Celsius on Monday, lawyers from the Kirkland law firm led by Pat Nash detailed how retail users with earn and borrow accounts transferred the title of their coins to the firm as per its terms of service. Woo! We tried to tell you about those terms of service. As a result, Celsius is free to use, sell, pledge, and rehypothecate the coins as it wishes. And here is where I'm assuming they have, oh, wow, it says it is entitled to use, sell, pledge, and rehypothecate these coins.
Is it right there?
This earn program is in it. My only question I will have to say is I want to know when these terms of service were actually there, because this says beginning in April 2022 for the custody program. Is that just okay? That's just a custody program. since April 15. Yeah, so I mean, honestly, these terms of service actually were kind of, I'm assuming, swapped all in April, which is 2 months ago.
Bittrex 2.0.
Bittrex 2.0. So literally, as soon as they saw an issue going on with capital, possibly insolvency, anything of that magnitude, as soon as they saw an issue, they literally changed the terms of service. I mean, people, these terms of service are for 4 months ago. I like how for the borrow program, they don't put when this began or since when. I'm assuming this could be, this shit could be July 1st, 2022. There's a reason why they have a date for 2 of them and not for the 3rd, people. Like, literally, again, if you think this is conspiracy theory, at this point, I don't know what to tell you. You really think a company that just went bankrupt, that is keeping your crypto, that in April for their earn program and custody program changed the terms of service, didn't change the terms of service for the borrow program within this same time frame? Or was it even a more egregious change that happened within the last few weeks? Is what I'm thinking. What were you about to say, Bitcoin Zay?
Hey, well, I was gonna say slide on down a little bit, and you can see where it says the custody program was launched in April for non-accredited United States investors, as some states across the U.S. issued cease and desist orders on Celsius's earn program. So it looks like they sent some cease and desist on the earn program. Celsius introduced the custody program in April. So they paused the rewards and withdrawals on June 13th and have since paused margin calls, liquidations, and issuing new loans. So you could see this coming, or they could see this coming about a month before everybody else did. And of course, like we said before, they'll change those terms of services on a random Wednesday night, and you won't know anything about it till you wake up and you can't move your funds. So I see a lot of people now is coming back. The no keys, no cheese stuff. Just random people are like, oh man, somebody was saying no keys, no cheese back in the day, and here we are now. So I think this is actually good though, because we're starting to clear out all these earn and borrow exchanges and the percentages that people are gaining. Yeah, that's not real, people. And of course, the terms of service can be changed at any time. And the crazy thing about it is I actually tuned into a Spaces where they were talking with some lawyers who were talking about the Celsius case. And they were saying the funny thing about this is they have a point. They do tell you that your money is, you're an unsecured investor. Same thing Coinbase did. Same thing pretty much every exchange is going to have to do. So they do have a point with that. So your money may just be gone. But on top of that, Mashinsky probably won't even see any jail time. They just said basically what he did was just bad business. And that's it. He'll have to pay a fine, but this isn't criminal. And that's what they were saying over and over. Is like, there's nothing criminal here. He just was bad at what he did or was disingenuous. And he did AMAs every week. So it seemed like what he was doing, he trusted in it. But yeah, man, you can't really go with these earn and borrow programs that much anymore without a lot of risk involved. So I think that'll keep people from being greedy at the next bull run, which is good. It's good for the space.
And to be real, I wonder if it was more or less the earn or borrow program or the fallout essentially from everybody investing in Terra, including some Celsius and some of his partners essentially investing in Terra. So that's the even more egregious thing, is like maybe the house of cards could have went on a bit longer if everyone didn't get greedy, but 20% wasn't enough. We needed 500%, baby. We needed 1,000%. So also, you know, again, I hate to see these things happen, but I am like, you know, when they do happen, it does give us like I don't even know the word I'm looking for, but essentially credit for what we've been trying to tell you all. Like, this is not a conspiracy theory. They will change the terms of service on you overnight. When I say they, I mean any centralized platform, period, in this space. As soon as they have your crypto, they can change the terms of service, people. And I think this is a classic example of something we talk about all the time. I know I love talking about it. And that's becoming too big to fail. They became too big to fail. You get to a certain size, people, you get a certain capital amount under you. It's like, they're not going to go to jail. They're worth too much money. Like at best, we can hope for X, Y, and Z. But really quick, I want to just go back to the story. What's even crazy is like the gumption and how they're even like, at one point, you all were clients and customers that they did everything nice and talked to you so sweet. Now that they have your crypto and it's not a secret, they're talking to you how we try to talk to you every day, but some of you get so triggered by it. But it's like, this is what we're trying to get you ready for. Attorney David Silver summed up Celsius' claim to users' funds in a Monday tweet. He wrote that users should, quote, stop thinking of it as your crypto, because it technically belongs to the firm. You know what this is.
From here on, nothing goes down unless I'm involved. No blackjack, no dope deals, no nothing. A nickel bag gets sold in the park. I want in.
You thought that was yours. Here it is. The trustee also asked for blockchain analysis related to crypto transfers. The judge flat out said, you need to show all crypto transfers. Celsius so far is trying to hide that information. The point of the blockchain is that this information is easily accessible. Again, this is where the community, the new people in the community keep getting things confused. They said the point of the blockchain is that this information is easily accessible. That is not the point of the blockchain. In fact, I don't even know what the point of the blockchain is because I don't know which blockchain you're talking about. However, if you're talking about the Bitcoin blockchain, then yes, that is so the information can be easily accessible, but it's also to be used peer-to-peer, not to be put on a platform like Celsius or an exchange. So again, this is what like kills me in this space is that all these people who are very new, honestly, think they have all the answers, but they're still conflating blockchain in general with Bitcoin's blockchain. Again, these people don't know what they're talking about. But then again, here is that same lawyer who doesn't know what he's talking about saying, Celsius says, I love it too. He's like, this ain't me. This is Celsius. Celsius says that anyone in the Earn program has no crypto that belongs to them, i.e. stop thinking of it as your crypto. I mean, just this, the way they wrote this out, so disrespectful. Celsius is the owner of the crypto assets. Most of the assets in Celsius came in through the Earn program as part of the state. So, and last but not least, what's even crazier about this article is that they're essentially saying that, hey, anyone out there, if you can literally develop a protocol or platform that says we can give everyone 10 to 15% back a year or whatever, you literally don't even need, like, you don't need to follow through with that, right? You need to follow through long enough just to get your volume up, just to get your capital up. And if something goes wrong, you are literally in the clear. So this is crazy to me. Zay, I'm not sure if you caught that. I was just saying it's crazy to me that all you have to do to win right now, at least for some of these people, is just get a lot of capital, get even more users, have a bunch of users and capital on the platform. If it goes well, great, you pay fines. Of course, fines will come because you made a lot of money and the government wants in. If it doesn't go well, oh well, like who cares? Like you just messed up. It's not no problem. So
it's a whole movie on this called Too Big to Fail. Watch Too Big to Fail. That's the banks, and now we're doing Too Big to Fail crypto exchanges. Same thing.
All right. Other than that, we got red caps, Zay. We got red caps, blue caps. We got that. Hey, we got that alien. We got that alien. Look, if you don't know what we're talking about, hey, you know what I'm saying? We got that kill. Oh, I can't even say all this on YouTube. We about to get it. Oh, we're going to the bottom again. If you don't know what we're talking about, we're making a popular reference to The Wire. Why? Because we are about to be smoking on this Zipmex pack. That's right. This is breaking news. Zipmex suspends withdrawals as CEO denies financial trouble rumors. All right. I love that this is all happening at once because a lot of people, even during the last bull market, or excuse me, even during the last bear market, they didn't even get to see this. You know, 2018, 2019, a lot of companies were going out because the price of Bitcoin dipped, not necessarily because of a bad project. It's just the over exuberance of the ICO market and so forth. But by and large, with the exception of, I think, was it like a lot were happening in 2016, 2017. We had some in like 2018, of course, but a lot of people haven't seen over and over again these platforms go out of business and these CEOs come out and deny it. But now I think our warriors are learning Bitcoin, Zay. Even if you've just been watching this for the last month and a half, 2 months, you have seen the trend. Listen, if withdrawals get suspended, you don't even need to ask any more questions. The questions have been asked and answered already. All right, people. Yeah. And then if the CEO comes out after withdrawals have been suspended and tells you nothing to worry about, again, like people, you're seeing the trend, right? You get it. You're learning. I love that you're learning about this market the right way. The CEO of Thai crypto exchange, Zipmex, denied rumors of financial trouble just moments before the group announced it will pause withdrawals on the platform. Really quick, like for one to have a rumor of financial trouble during this market times, like says it all. Like it probably is not just a rumor. And then for you to pause withdrawals after, like, are they not learning from the other? Are you not learning from Celsius? Are you not learning from every other exchange and platform and Terra and everything that came before you? Just come out and say you ain't got it and start working on it right now. Like, we're going to stall us out for 96 hours. What's going on with Zipmex right now? And are they in any type of financial trouble?
Hey, well, 96 hours is enough time to board a plane and hit another country. That's plenty of time, actually. So, due to a combination of circumstances, this is the tweet that they said, due to the circumstances, and the story just went away from me right here.
Oh, that was my fault. I was over here.
Oh, you're all good. But
put it back
yeah, basically, as you said before, how did they not know? The reason they don't know is because they're all failing at the same time. They took on the same sort of business model, and they thought it all would succeed because others were succeeding. And co-founder Marcus Lim stated, due to a combination of circumstances beyond our control, including volatile market conditions and the resulting financial difficulties of our key business partners, to maintain the integrity of our platform, we would be pausing withdrawals until further notice. And this is basically sweeping the entire crypto industry all at once, because a lot of prop bets were made and a lot of leverage was used in order to push the price up, either of their own personal token or of their assets that they held. The problem is when the price goes down and there's nobody else to sell it to, here you go. Pause withdrawals, bankruptcies, a lot of layoffs, all happening all at the same time. And according to the block, Zipmex was working on a Series B raise that could value it at $400 million. They were about to get a $400 million valuation off of this business model, which I'm sure in the next bull run, if you have any type of learn, earn, borrow type thing, people are going to push it away. We're not touching it. We're not investing. So like I said before, the VCs that we talk to, all that money y'all are about to give them, go ahead and bring it over to us. I can promise you we won't do like, what's your boy, Sun Tzu, and go from 500 million to $650. I promise. But yes, this is another exchange which is in Thai. They were building, or they had the source explained the funds were given to Babel to generate yield. About 100 million was lent to Babel, which is now at risk of default. So Babel Finance, who also halted withdrawals due to unusual liquidity pressures. It's just the domino effect. People, the house of cards falls down, everything does at the same time. So yeah, you can't build a house on sand and be surprised when it washes away. So this is where we are, people. Again, I think this is great for the entire ecosystem, because it's basically the trash taking out itself, and get to see it live, people. This is to me, this moment in crypto history is just as big as the hash wars of 2017, or the block size wars, simply because we finally got to saw the underbelly. What we've been saying for years, you finally got to see the underbelly of these companies. They're not all they propped up to be. Trust me.
And you know what? That's what I was
people coming
say.
through with that fight. Oh, yeah.
So that's what I was gonna say. Yo, fool. Look, this is my only pushback to what you said. Yes and no. I do agree with you when it comes to these earn and stuff. It's like it's washing all the bad in crypto. However, I'm not going to say the earn and whatever they call it. I don't think those programs are that bad as much as the greed got a hold of these. I would say greed and inexperience. Greed and inexperience. And what is it when you just incompetence? There it is. This is the three. I think it was greed, inexperience, and incompetence. And the reason why is because on all these platforms, Celsius included, Nexo, BlockFi, whatever, they're going up to 12, 15, 20%. Like standardize and stabilize. If you know, and this is what I mean by they don't know what they're doing, but here you all go for free game. Next time, hit me up for real consultation and save your business. I can't even say save money anymore. Save your job, save your livelihood. Like literally with all these platforms, all they had to do a long time ago, which I've mentioned to institutions to do, is to standardize the yield. People are used to getting 3% or lower. You don't have to knock it out the park with 12 to 15%. Now, sure, that helped them get their volume of the users, but it wasn't sustainable in the bear market. And that's something they never think about. If you would have kept this thing at 5 to 8%, no matter what, no, I don't care. It'll never go higher than 8%. You own everybody crypto anyway, right? Yeah. You know, if you own everybody crypto anyway, so there is nothing in your contract that says if you give us $20,000 worth of Bitcoin, we need to honor this as a $20,000 investment for yield. No, you can say you gave us 20,000 and we're only going to put 5,000 up and we're going to save the rest for a 5% thing or whatever. You all said you own the crypto. You can do that. But here again, we have the inexperience and incompetence where they didn't even think to do that because they're trying to do this hybrid of, like you said, CD5, where we're a centralized platform, but you get your yield and all these other buzzwords until everything goes wrong. Then it's now we own your crypto. You owned it to begin with. So you could have standardized this yield. So I think if yields were standardized across all platforms, this wouldn't be as big as an issue. And then I was going to make another point that I forgot about. But bottom line is, I think it was more just the incompetence, inexperience, and greed. is what made all these companies, like even Zipmex, they're blaming it on the market conditions.
Yeah, because of market. What? That's not
exactly. That's the inexperience and incompetence. Like, so you didn't factor in what would happen if Bitcoin goes to a 2-year bear market on your exchange.
Even though it's happened multiple times. Where are your research and development at, player? They should
all. What I'm saying? Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, they're doing, they got a little too much dip on their chip, as you would say, but also it's just like they don't know what they're doing. Like they literally don't even know what they're doing to be in it. And that was the second thing. Was again the most egregious and craziest thing about me is when we see the amount of companies and the amount of capital in this space that don't know what they're doing. Exactly. Hey, keep giving us content, baby. Keep giving us content. All right. Either hire us or give us content. We're going to use you one way or another. Oh, yeah. All right. U.S. Senator blasts SEC for non-judicial actions against crypto companies. Really quick, before we hit that story, I want to go over to the chat. First and foremost, thank you. Somebody mentioned it. These likes are lacking, people. Get those likes up, or we will definitely go to one show a week until 1,000 episodes. Y'all ass in December. Okay?
Yeah, let's see y'all do your thing. Yeah.
Straight up, we are building some institutional grade products in the background right now. So we need all the time we can get. So hey, up to you. Smash those likes and share. Get this free game. Or don't, and we'll holler at you August 1st or something. I don't know. We'll see when we see shit. Let's see. I want to go to some of the comments. What do we have? Reno Gamble said, this society is soft. I'm old enough to remember when you had to bring change and a receipt. If they didn't match the belt. Hilarious, but true. Let's see. What else do we have? On my worst day, never will we ever trade that bet and lose as much money, says JG Wellworth. And that's my thing. Like, it's crazy the amount of resources they are losing. And that is why people, you all talk about Bitcoin maximums and how they feel. That's why they hate the overall crypto market, because of this shit. Like, this is literally why Bitcoin maximalists hate the market, because the way they look at it, they're saying like all this capital, all this resources, all this volume, all this human capital, all of this could have went to Bitcoin. We could have been further. But instead, we wanted to play in the Terra ecosystem pond, the dirty pond that is. We wanted to play with the earns and the yields. We want to do everything else but read books, do the due diligence, and learn more about Bitcoin and how to operate on Bitcoin. Instead, we wanted to find the 80% APY. So you found it, and this is what happened. So this is why maximalists hate the shit coiners out there. For everybody who wondered why Bitcoin maximums are the way they are, this is literally the reason. Why? Because you put $600 million into a project that went to $650 instead of putting an extra $5 million into Bitcoin in this projects and this research and development. Like, that is what's agitating everyone who's been in this space for a while. But you can't tell people what to do with their money. So hey, I'm not mad at it. It's just hilarious. It's just going to keep being hilarious. Let's see. What else do we have? Copy and paste business models, says PFC Wells. Of course, you're all going to have issues. It's like copying bad code. The original code has vulnerability, and so does everyone else who copied it. That's crazy. That's true.
Ethereum.
And I mean, yeah, Kadeem is saying that it's crazy when you really say it again. Like, the $559 million is $650. Like, that is literally who has the hold on the market. People, we only got 22,000 subs. All right, we can't do it. They don't want to listen to us. We don't know what it is. But they're literally listening to the people who put $559 million in the market and it comes out to 650. You know how much that agitates me when you get the text after the show or somebody calls you, oh, did you know this? Or did you see this article from this person? Or did you see this YouTuber from this person? I'm like, bruh, like, why are you sending this faulty information? I don't get it.
Now the worst is when people send you stuff talking about crypto experts talking, and it's people that we taught.
That is pretty funny.
Like, what? I be like, bro, you know, these students I have that are now the experts, and I just be laughing because I'm like, if you listen to them, then all right.
Hey, we to keep it real, we didn't put people on stage. How many people we didn't put on stage? That's real disrespect. Hey, people, you want to know some crazy people? I have taught people and had them on stages before I even been invited to the conferences. Okay, crazy. Like, literally taught people from scratch, and they've been on panels on stages. They like, damn, bro, they didn't invite you. I'm like, nah, man, I don't know, but I don't really care either. Jake Bieber said this wouldn't be called bad business if it was Black owned and operated. It would be a prosecution's coming. I think so too, to be honest. I hate to say it like that, but I find it highly unlikely that Tyrone had this Celsius going that they would be like, oh, my bad. Demetrius, we know you messed up, but no problem here.
Oh, we got a big problem. Yeah, exactly.
Maurice said, do we still recommend Casa? Currently using 2 or 3 multi-sig. Just make sure I'm not being careless with my Bitcoin. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, as long as you hold your keys, you're good. Yeah, Casa's still solid.
Casa, they actually were gonna they wanted to come on the show. But you know, right now, just a lot of companies that are kind of doing some of the same things, so we're just kind of bounced it off. Let's see. JG Wentworth said that's so janky. Saw one of their former directors on CNBC, either talking about Celsius or Zipmex here, saying that they were buying meme coins with customer funds and then taking that money and pumping Celsius token. Oh, that's just Celsius.
That is the exact crypto playbook. That is literally the playbook. And if you didn't know this was going on, welcome to crypto, baby. We told you it was the Wild West. We tried to tell you this is what actually goes on behind the scenes.
This is crazy. Yeah, this is great. But again, people centralize exchanges and platforms. This is what they are. I mean, this is a part of them. And again, this is not saying not to use them. It's just saying don't leave the nest egg with them. Like leave 10% with them, leave 15%, like hell, leave 20 if you got to go crazy. And then leave that 20% across multiple platforms, but do not put 80 to 90% of your portfolio on Celsius and say, I'm just going to sit back and earn my 20% more. I'm going to put it like that. That's not what crypto is becoming your own bank. You can't be a lazy banker. You cannot be a lazy banker. I've paid for it. Everybody pays for it. All right. U.S. Senator blasts SEC for non-judicial actions against crypto companies. What's going on here with the U.S. Senator versus the SEC?
Hey, well, Tom Emmer, who is a Republican senator from Minnesota, he's become the latest politician to blast the United States Securities and Exchange Commission for its unethical actions against crypto companies. Emmer posted a video on Tuesday showing his conversation at the House Committee on Financial Services, where he accused the SEC of politicizing regulations. Go figure.
Who else has called that out?
Who else is saying the SEC?
Are we 14 and 0?
I mean, good gracious. What did we say with XRP? When the dude who was running the SEC, he indicted XRP his last day as a director, and we were like, did he steal your girlfriend? Like, what did your boy Garlinghouse do? Because he had to piss them off. But he went on to grill SEC enforcement director Guber Gruel over SEC's unethical industry sweeps against crypto companies. The Senate further inquired if these sweeps against crypto companies fall under the jurisdiction of the SEC and what actions the commission takes against companies that don't volunteer for such voluntary questioning. Shout out to Kraken, my boy Jesse Powell.
They standing strong.
They sent him a letter. He was like, no. And that's why I mess with Jesse Powell big time. That's my boy. He also he pushed back against like people that didn't like the culture of his business. He was like, well, then leave. Like Jesse Powell ain't playing that. But yeah, back to the SEC. Gruel admitted to using enforcement actions against companies that are not under his jurisdiction. Is that not illegal? Is that not proceedings coming afterwards? Did he just admit to committing a crime? They are overstepping their boundaries. We've been saying this for years. And if they were supposedly saying all cryptocurrencies were securities, then have your case, say that, and then let's do it. The fact that the Ripple case went so long, that's how I know right now they may not have a case for crypto being securities, even though technically it is. It's something a little different. So this is weird that they haven't pushed this before, but shout out to Emmer for calling them out.
Really quick, again, this is a 14. You know, this is my fault. We got to start. I'm going to start keeping a notepad next to the show so I can, because we do need to actually write the dates we're calling things and then dates they come out. We haven't been doing that for years. We got to do that. So we're going to start doing that, but definitely call. I mean, how many years, how many times, how many interviews of project founders have we had where I'd be like, hey, what would you do if the government comes after you? Oh, well, we'll talk to regulators. And how many times have I said that will not work? That will not work. Like, well, I mean, I give it to companies. I don't know, again, if it's incompetence or they're in on it type of deal. But to think that I'm trying to see the best way to explain this. And people, you all know I'm so American. All right. I'm a citizen. I'm proud to be one, 2 deployments. All right. I'm happy. But I love to critique because I know we can do better. So I had to throw this out there. You can't negotiate with the bully. All right. You can't negotiate with terrorists. When it comes, unfortunately, to our government versus our citizens, oftentimes they're acting like a terrorist. They're acting like a bully. So I think it is incredibly stupid for you project founders out there, and not just project founders, professionals, because I always talk about all you professionals swapping over to crypto and you know 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever age isn't the thing. It's just the fact. I'm bringing up age because you have experience in other industries. You've been working this hard job for 20 or 30 years. You got your your IRA and everything. And then all of a sudden you want to come to crypto, but you don't want to face any risks. You know who I'm talking about out there. You don't want to face any risks. You want to mitigate everything. So you're calling the government to say, hey, we need regulations. We need protections, not even understanding the market. You guys are putting 90% of your portfolio into Terra Luna. And at the same time, telling the government, we need regulations and protections. No, you need to take our masterclass or do your own research and read, because what you're doing is wrong. I say all that to say, these are the same groups of people who kept talking about the SEC, Gary Gensler, the regulators, and all this other stuff, saying, well, we're just going to work with them and see, or they just asked for this, or we're just going to submit this, or we're going to get these subpoenas. The reason why we say do not answer to it is because they are not here to be your friend and help you. They know you're a company making an obscene amount of money in a short period of time. Your percentages of yield, your yield percentages are freaking ridiculous. The traditional market sees 20 to 25% returns on a year. And you're talking about crypto companies getting 1,200+% returns back in 6 months. You are fucking crazy if you think they're going to work with you. There's nothing to work with. Is you have the money, we're the government, and you're going to give it to us. Now it's just how we're going to make it look. Are you going to give it to us in form of a grant, in form of a civil suit, in form of whatever, a tax? It don't matter, but you're going to give it to us. So I am happy to see another member, another senator come out and say this, because now it's just not the two crazy YouTubers saying, conspiracy theory, the government's not, they're doing this, blah, blah, blah. Now you actually have somebody coming out saying, no, that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, multiple senators.
But go ahead.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
If you talk to next time you talk to a regulator, and they say that they're trying to, build the vibe between crypto, explain to them that if everything works the way it is, they won't have a job. So unless they're looking forward to not working that job anymore, your regulation is not going to work with what we're doing. It's literally two ships passing at night, shouldn't even have anything to do with each other. So that will basically get them in the mindset that, yeah, all the regulation that I'm coming with is not actually going to help if it comes in bad faith, like this guy Gary Gensler, aka what's his name from The Simpsons?
Mr. Burns.
Mr. Burns. Oh yeah, we got some good nicknames. Mr. Burns for Gary Gensler. We got Tweety Bird for Janet Yellen. We got Jamie Dino. Oh man, we got the best nicknames.
I'm surprised you didn't say your favorite. I was waiting for you to say your favorite.
Oh yeah, my boy Jigglypuff from
Jigglypuff. I know you.
Yeah, Bank of International Settlements.
What's wrong with you?
Jigglypuff.
Emmer said SEC's behavior was absolutely unacceptable and believes that the regulatory body is not regulating in good faith, especially when it comes to the digital asset market. And here's the last but not least, I'll leave it here. This is my problem too with when it comes to the government. Here's my problem when it comes, not even the government, when it comes to other civilians, other citizens, all you Ned. This is my problem with all you Ned Flanders out there. You all think because we're American that people in important and responsible positions cannot be morally wrong and be criminal. And that couldn't be further from the truth. You give me a group of people, give me a group of 100 people, there's going to be a bad apple, people. Like, it has nothing to do with the agency. It has nothing to do with the institution. There are bad police people. There are bad military people. There are bad teachers. There are bad students. There are bad fire people. There are bad, like, you name it. There are bad coders and developers. There are bad YouTubers. They're like, so this whole notion of there aren't any, back to blue, there aren't any bad police guys. There aren't any police. No, police can't be bad. Like, really? You're going to tell me
not one
out of a million humans? I don't even know how many police there are in the country, but let's just say we got 1 million police officers, 500,000 out of 500,000 people, not one bad. So to me, this goes the same when we talk about government. When we talk about SEC regulations and all that, like, get it out of your head that can't anyone be morally wrong, morally inept, morally bad, or criminally bad. They can. They've done it for years. The United States have been one of the best countries when it comes to doing bad things. We've done it very well, okay? Which is why we're in power. I say all that to say, just because he's the SEC chair doesn't mean he's doing right. And this is why when you all start talking crypto taxes and crypto regulation, and what about this? Or did you fill out this form and fill out that? Do what you need to do to protect yourself. But again, you're crazy if you're going to give away large percentages of your crypto to this government, because I can pretty much guarantee you there will be something retroactive to come out and say, all right, you actually don't need to do X, Y, and Z. And you're gonna look stupid as hell for giving them 30% of whatever you had. And then they come out and be like, no, you don't need to do it. Or we can't enforce this. Too late. You done it for 4 years. Can I have it back? Yeah, we'll give it back to you in 2026. Fill out this 60-page form.
Yeah, this new bit license 2.0.
Yeah, and tell me all the dates you bought it, exactly how much, and exactly all the details, and then we'll give it back to you in 2026. Like, people, stop it. Regulation should not be in this market, with the exception of self-regulation. That is the line we all need to push. If you're doing anything other, you know how I feel, but I'm gonna keep acting like it's okay. When we get project founders up here, I'm gonna keep like, I get what you're saying. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, we're not gonna take it.
Hey, if you're working with regulators, you better be doing it for 100 million plus. Don't do it for nothing little, okay? At the least, make it worth it.
We're not gonna take it.
All right, last couple of stories. U.S. federal agency issues legal advisory on NFT investments. 15-0. I mean, listen, 15-0. I'm taking it.
Man, we got to start tracking this, because I mean, we literally said this last year.
Last year specifically, the verbiage was, you all are absolutely crazy if you think you're going to be making all this money in NFTs and government and regulators aren't going to come want to cut. Like, literally, we said that how many times? And again, just to give you some analysis of thinking behind it, it was because we saw what happened with the ICO market. It should not have happened. It should have been regulated. But again, because so many business professionals came over, they were like, yeah, regulation. And regulation eventually won out. STOs, ICO market died down, and STOs never matured. Why? Because it makes no sense. Same thing with NFTs, people. Like, we saw the same thing. I mentioned, I think NFTs, their regulation would be a good thing, because the regulation would be the eyes of regulation would be taking off of DeFi. I think that is going to happen. I think they're going to realize DeFi is a little bit too technical and too difficult of a space to regulate. To even track down people of some of these projects is pretty difficult. I think they'll just take the NFT money for the short term. But again, the advisory primarily targets reporting of NFT investments that represent property, such as real estate. That's right. If you got NFT, you got properties. Hey, what's going on here?
Oh, man. So the United States Office of Government Ethics, man, you talk about some bullshit, issue a legal advisory recommending various instances when senior government officials are required to disclose their investments in non-fungible tokens, aka NFTs. Man, I can't wait to see what government officials have NFTs. But in the legal advisory presented to the designated agency ethics officials, Director Emmer Rounds III said that all NFT investments, both fractionalized and collectibles worth $1,000, must be reported if held for investment or production of income at the end of the reporting period. And this is sort of getting in the sticks as far as regulation, because if you got an NFT, let's say for access, let's say for yachts in Miami, like people have done, which is worth well over $1,000. If you didn't get that to produce income, then do you have to put that as a part of it? And then if you do, or I mean, if you don't, if I sell it later, is that against the law? I think they're kind of in over their head on this. But the guidance provided by the federal agency also requires reporting of NFT investments if officials made profits over $200 during the reporting period. $200? That's where y'all draw the line of how much money you can make from NFTs. $200. I know teenagers who made more than $200.
That's disrespectful.
That's disrespectful. Come on, man. So I get that they're trying to get government officials to disclose it, but it's only a matter of time before they try and do that with individuals. And the quote here says, public financial disclosure filers must also disclose purchase, sales, and exchanges of collectible NFTs and NFTs that qualify as securities. Are NFT securities? Because I didn't hear the SEC say that yet. And on top of that, what if you were given an NFT? What if you were airdropped an NFT? I mean, they do it all the time at conferences, and it gained value from there. A lot of questions there, but again, they're saying that NFT investments will represent property, like real estate, which is also wrong. All NFT is a hash pointing to the IPFS file. I mean, it's not property like real estate, trust me. In fact, you can use NFTs to certify property, such as real estate. So it's definitely not the same thing, but it's weird how they're trying to finagle it to try and make sure they can see what all people have. Like I said, this is all going to come crashing down on them. They're not going to be able to regulate everything. There's going to be a new innovation probably later this year or next year. So they're going to always be playing catch up. But again, this is hilarious to see by the, what is it again? United States Office of Government Ethics. Whew, I bet their office, how many people they got in their office? 2, 3 people?
I was gonna say 3. You funny. I was gonna say 3.
Ain't nobody in that damn office. They got
a $9,000 budget.
Yeah, exactly.
And really quick, when it comes to that $200 thing, it's funny. I saw this, long story short, I think it was in Texas. I saw this story about a guy, and it was years ago, about how he basically squatted and he could own a house or something. But people were getting mad, telling him he need to buy a house, and the house is like $300,000. It's like, and I bring that up because you got to remember when you're talking about a government employee, on average, the average government employee might only be making 45 to 50K. So 200 like is reportable for them for sure. But it is crazy that they're using that to kind of make it the basis for everyone. Like, what about the bored ape people? Like, you think $200 is going to make them wait? Like, that's not going to get them out of bed. That's not going to open up the laptop. Some quick comments before we finish off the show. Last couple of stories. Cryptonomics says something I realize is even having your crypto on a cold storage wallet is centralizing. So you need more than one cold storage wallet to be truly decentralized and spread your crypto out. So that's something, again, we said that last week. It was like, hey, even if you have wallets already, like get another. Like I probably got like four or five hardware wallets at this point. Maybe even 6. Goodness gracious.
Yeah. I got like double that amount because of the open dimes. I got a bunch of open dimes.
Well, I was thinking about your open dimes. I remember I had one of your open dimes.
I got a bunch of open dimes, baby.
Hey, so definitely people, like, you want to, you're your own bank. Imagine if you got robbed as a bank, right? Like the United States, we got Fort Knox. We keep some stuff in there. We got the main bank over here. We got a bank over there. We got banks everywhere. You don't want them all to get hit. So I agree. Second thing, Cryptonomics. I saw you check in the chat yesterday. If you don't hit me up so you can get a show, Cryptonomics doesn't like any of our other shows or on the channel. I be looking at I always see his comments. He was like, I can't believe they allowed this on the platform. Cryptonomics, come do a show then so you can educate the masses. And last but not least, to Cryptonomics, he asked what happened to my voice. So yes, I did. I kind of took this year off for the most part from the Hollywood stuff, focusing on crypto, but I have been back in the audition rooms again, people. So I had a pretty funny audition yesterday where they had us. It was supposed to be Gym Bros, so they had us all screaming and yelling at each other. My voice is gone in like 5 minutes, bro. Look, I've been physical. I just started back physical auditions like 2 or 3 weeks ago. They've been amazing, bro. I was at one yesterday. It was like it had to be at least 100 people in there. There's kids running around for kids auditions. It's like dancers preparing. It's like dancers doing ballet in the room. I'm like, oh, we back. I was like, we back, baby.
I know, right?
Hollywood is back. Jake Fever said we should parlay some of these calls we keep calling out. That's pretty funny, but true. All right, last couple of stories. UFC is in the news. UFC fighter will receive full salary in Bitcoin, shrugs off crypto market volatility. That's right. Brazilian UFC fighter Luna Pinheiro becomes the first female sportswoman in Latin America to receive her entire salary in Bitcoin, and I think that deserves a cracking round of applause. Come in right that time. Let's see. It looks like UFC fighter Luna Pinheiro announced that she is partnering with Bitwage to receive her salary in Bitcoin. She said she continues to receive fiat payments from her sponsors, but converts them to Bitcoin immediately through Bitwage. That's what I'm talking about. She's currently ranked 15th in her UFC division and has won 8 consecutive fights. The fighter says she chose to receive her salary in Bitcoin after her boyfriend and fellow mixed martial artist Matthias Nicolo encouraged her. Comparing Bitcoin to her fighting style, jiu-jitsu, Pinheiro highlighted that she prefers to get paid in Bitcoin and she does not care about the volatility of the cryptocurrency. According to her, volatility is a key factor that drives asset appreciation. If it weren't volatile, it wouldn't go up either, she said, further explaining. That's true.
Literally, in one sentence, you can kill a volatility argument.
Oh, she even kills it more. I love this quote. Think about it. It takes an average. Think about it. It takes an average of 10 to 15 years for an individual to obtain a black belt in Brazil and jiu-jitsu. So my time preference here is just as long, if not longer. Everything else is just noise to me, and the lower the price, the more Bitcoin I can secure for the future. Oh my God. I got a new favorite UFC fighter.
That's what I'm talking about. Shots fired, baby. We ain't going without a fight. We ain't going without a fight.
My new favorite UFC. It is crazy how easily and I love the way she describes it. Like, you're talking about a financial, like, we're talking about a new financial ecosystem to take over the planet. People, a global financial ecosystem that's based on technology is new. And you still got people talking about, well, can you spend it? Well, can you do this? Well, can you do that? We'll do so accept it. I'm like, bruh, it is 13 years. What were you doing at 13 years old to change the world? Tell me that.
Yeah, imagine that somebody say, you got a job, you got a financial plan, you got a retirement plan, you got a family.
You don't got a 401k?
Yeah, exactly. You don't got a car? What's wrong with you? What's your driver's license?
You little punk.
Yeah. You ain't got your gun license. You ain't got no license. You're worthless.
So again, I love how she explained. I think that's the best way to explain it. Like, people is brand new. Like, goodness gracious, and even crazier. Like, just look at the growth of all things Bitcoin and crypto from their inception to where they're at. Like, anything in this market, look at from where it started to where it's at now. The smart players, at least, not just the people trying to go for greed, and see how they appreciate it. So shout out again, I don't want to get her name wrong, Luna Pinheiro, my one of my new favorite female UFC fighters. Shout out to you. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Zay, last but not least, when I first saw this story, the godfather of crypto risks lifetime in jail, laying foundation for Bitcoin. When I first saw this story, I was like, godfather of crypto. I was like, who do I get the shit on today? I really was like scrolling, like, shit on somebody today. And then as soon as I saw the name, I was like, oh, that might be a godfather.
He definitely is the godfather.
So with that being said, who is the godfather of crypto, and how did he risk a lifetime in jail laying this foundation for Bitcoin?
Oh yeah. So if you don't know your history of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency,
and real quick, sorry to interrupt. It's in the masterclass. We talk about him in the masterclass. Go ahead.
Hey, we do talk about it. David Chaum was building cryptocurrencies and cryptography in 1972, and he began his studies in computer science in the late 1970s when encryption was classified at the same level as nuclear technology. Chaum quickly realized the technology would be crucial to ensure the continuation of privacy and democracy in the digital age, because for some of you who don't realize it, there was a number of people that when the internet was first being formed in the 80s, early 90s, the only thing they cared about was how can we keep it private? How can we keep it so that you have some sort of domain for yourself? Because they knew the corporations were coming. It's the same old story. Anytime something is popular, the corporations show up with money and they centralize everything so they can have more control. That's what it's about. So they've been working on this for a while. He founded XX Network, a privacy-focused blockchain, which connected XX Messenger, and Chaum hopes will withstand attacks even by quantum computers in the future. And he created the near-mythical group called Cypherpunks as well. And of course, we all know, sort of the backstory, like it says here, the NSA was taking the position that cryptography was born classified, even if you created it yourself, like nuclear weapons technology. He was told around 1980 that conferences on the subject would naturally not be allowed and people who organized them would be prosecuted. So think about that, people. At a time period in the 80s, they were telling my man David Chaum, if you try and get people to do cryptography on their own, people like Hal Finney, people like We Die, all these other people, you're going to jail. And that's the funny thing is, they were saying that in the 80s, and then today, now we have a whole industry built around it. Not just cryptocurrency, but cryptography itself as an industry as far as securing different data. So again, everything that starts off that's new, the government's always going to try and threaten you with jail. We're going to lock you up. We're going to find you. We're going to do this. But David Chaum, shout out to him. He created a number of things: cryptography, encryption, cypherpunks, XX Network, Messenger, coin, privacy. I mean, literally everything. And David Chaum is definitely a godfather. A lot of people don't know his name. But again, definitely look up David Chaum, do your history, look at the masterclass. You'll see how influential he was. So thank you to him, and shout out for his sacrifice. And of course, moving all the way up to Satoshi, and then even further into the future. So shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to him. And I mean, it's so disrespectful and such a shame to even say that humans, oh, are you using technology? Oh, it's illegal. He's the witch. Burn him at the stake. Like, these are the people who lead us, bro. It's so crazy. And my bad to everyone. They said people were saying their eardrums got blown out, so I'm not sure what sound clip we played. Everybody yelled, but my fault. Mark Huber said, whatever you're receiving rewards from NFTs, and that said NFT native token. Of course, they didn't think about that. They don't even know about that yet, which makes it even more hilarious that they're actually trying to regulate it. Bitcoin Zay, what other news do you have?
No news for me for today. Masterclass is still on tomorrow at 9 p.m. So make sure you hit that join button right below the video. It's only a few dollars a month, people, to get the best information from the best YouTube show in the world, Gentlemen of Crypto, and look out for that 1000th episode coming up soon.
Zay, Alex say you're not scared of hardware failure without having a seed with the open dimes.
Nah, that's why I spread them out, and that's why I rotate them. I move it. I probably used about 50 of them, but I rotate them every few months.
Julio said, "Is King auditioning for the LA Opera?" Hilarious. Let's see, Bitcoin going for that black belt. There we go. You already know it. I got the super soaker. They got the super soaker. What else do we have?
Hey, honestly, being serious, bro, did they have these when we were younger?
I don't know. Is that water or is that Nerf?
No, this is Nerf.
No, they started getting the good ones now. They got goggles now because it's so real.
Yeah,
bro, they got like a machine gun Nerf gun, bro. I seen somebody like just
it's right here. I got these for my nephew. this is a machine gun. I was like, bro, they had a scope. They had one with a scope with the long. I was like, oh, they never had this when we was younger, so I had to get one for me and my nephew so we could shoot it out. But yeah,
I'm trying not to make this triggering joke, but they're trying to get these kids.
I think I know what you're talking about because I already made it. Because of my brother's nosy neighbors, and yeah, it is what it is.
Trying to get these kids ready.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, listen. Oh man, what am I going to do? King and Zay just announces no shows, and I'll play your masterclass during that time. Yeah, speaking of that, again, people, the only reason we've been doing some more no shows is we really are trying to slow it down before we get to episode 1,000. To give you an idea of some of the give you an idea. I can't even talk right now. To give you an idea of some of the things we plan to do. To give you an idea of some things we plan to do, we are going to more than likely do like a 24-hour show that day. That's right. We're gonna be streaming all damn day. So be prepped for that. We're trying to see what type of guests we can get. So we're doing some looking into it, but be on the lookout for it. Oh, also, July is here. You all asked. Bitcoin Magazine did reach back out with their group stuff. They're kind of trying to figure it out. So I'll reach back out to them today, this week, to figure out what the final say is on everything. But they did reach back out to a bunch of different communities out there to let them know, hey, we're about to start ticket sales again for next year, blah, blah, blah. So we'll make sure we parlay that information to you. Other than that, that is the show for today. We're a little bit longer than we expected. Smash that like and share. Be ready for assets and arbitrage next. And we'll see you more of some crypto news. Cheers.
Cheers.